We're here at Tetsu, where world-renowned sushi chef Masa has a burger on the menu.
Who does he think he is?
We do burgers
We
in
do
New
the
York,
burgers in
buddy.
New York. But we hear great things about him using a specific tool that was built for him just to make this very specific burger. We obviously want to learn about it, so let's go check it out. Had half a beer and it's only, what? 1 o'clock, I feel great. We are here with the great Chef Masa and Gino, all around great guy and cook. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. I don't know how we got invited.
Thank you for having us. You do a burger a very, very specific kind of way. Can you tell us about it?
This is nambu. Nambu is very famous in Japan, just all the cast iron place.
Yes.
Okay.
So idea is the spikes go through into the meat patty. They cook quickly, still keep it juicy.
Which is so unique because everyone either grills or plancha. That's it. This is completely different.
You've invented a way to keep all of that flavor as isolated into the burger as possible.
Exactly. I love burger. I eat almost every week, once a week. I tried many places, but not exactly what I want. Some places overcooked, not juicy enough, meat not enough. Spike goes inside, same time heat go through. All the excess fat throw away and turn over. Yeah, so spike is bottom, heating through the meat.
It doesn't get like charred anymore.
Yeah.
So it doesn't burn, but it's still cooking.
Really see the spike marks in the meat. What are the perfect toppings to you for a burger?
Zero. Only cheese,
Only cheese, no condiment.
no condiment.
Oh, strong words, Masa. Strong words. All right. Here I go with Taleggio cheese. Taleggio.
Oh, that's
Here I go with white cheddar, like nice brick.
not skimping on the cheese. I see why you don't need anything else. You just
Yeah.
need the cheese in.
We don't go cheap on cheese. Then we're gonna do some smoke for that.
What?
You're just burning chopsticks.
Burning chopsticks. All the burger, they use some smoky, some people bacon, but my idea is why not whole burger smoky flavor?
Did you just have a bunch of chopsticks lying around?
We wash off after people use, after dry, then burn.
Wow.
So here we go. And now just smoking.
Ooh.
So the cheese is not melting all around here too. Then it's done. So the moment of the truth right now. That's our lamb burger. This is big.
Let's go try it.
Thanks, guys.
See the juices, like, that's
But it
amazing.
still have a lot of juice in it.
Yeah, it's not the rare you normally see, but man, the juice is just flowing through it.
Wow.
Well, the first thing you get is like
That smoke.
the smoke before you even take a bite.
That completely
get the
changes
smoke.
the experience. You like smell a campfire, you think of a campfire. Yeah. I only feel somewhat ridiculous having you hold a plate of fries in front of me. Try the lamb.
Yep.
Lamb is something.
This is my favorite.
Lamb's your favorite?
Lamb is favorite.
Cooked all the way through, but just a little bit of pink in the middle. That looks amazing.
Never smelled a smoky bun before.
Oh yeah,
But it's incredible. And you had that closed for maybe 8 to 10 seconds?
exactly.
Taleggio and smoke makes such a huge difference.
Beautiful, right?
Wow. I looked at it and I thought grilled cheese. We brought some Wonder Bread. Can we make a grilled cheese?
Sure.
We didn't want to assume that you already had this in your pantry.
Did you just chef cut open that Wonder Bread?
I did. I just felt like I disrespected your knife. These dumps. Let's get from the middle.
You can be one of the most famous chefs in the world, but can you make
Give it cheese.
grilled cheese on the fly?
Yeah, right?
Never done this?
I never done this way. It's fun. Let's go spike side. Look at this.
Oh, this is gonna be a good grilled cheese.
Look at this. Oh, I think that this is done.
This is what you come to us for, is that real good
Look
grilled
at
cheese
this.
content.
Beautiful. Ha ha. All right.
Come for the burgers. Stay for the grilled cheese.
Stay for the grilled cheese.
Signature
Chef
dish.
first.
Yes.
Chef first.
Look at
Oh. Look at, oh man.
Crispy, both sides. Huh?
Wow.
Well done.
I think Tetsu just started their kids menu.
Great idea. Great idea. So this device can make a lot of different stuff there.
What else? What else do you make with it?
So I told you, omelet, right? Omelet, so many
Perfect
different omelets.
20-second omelet.
20-second omelet. I show you.
They're not on the menu, right?
No menu. I do it in my home.
Really?
Yes. A little bit of salt. So in the home, you do whatever you have, vegetable.
No more excuses. You have time for breakfast.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Yep.
They close it. But see, right? Already. Done. But this is an omelet, huh?
That is a pretty perfect 2-egg omelet. What else do you need?
Try.
And amazing, perfectly cooked actually.
Right?
God damn, that's a perfect
right?
omelet. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
1 minute meals with Masa.
1 minute meals with Masa. I'm sorry, but you have another job now. You're going to be teaching a TV show. I hope that's okay.
Guys, thank you so much. You've taken the bar snack burger game to a completely new level. This is so eye-opening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's a pretty special burger.
Thank you.
A porchetta is usually a whole loin and belly section of a pig. We thought, why the heck has nobody ever done that with beef? So we're gonna give it a shot today, see how it goes.
We've never seen this done ever. So we have no idea really what we're doing other than we've done a porchetta a bunch. I tried to find videos of this online, couldn't find any. Like, we're really just like trying something new.
Our rib eye steaks are this section. Right here is our New York strip steaks. Underneath this fat is our tenderloin, 2 skirt steaks. Under that, a bavette and a flank steak. This whole section is the rest of the ribs.
So what we're gonna try and do by doing with beef is take that same fatty outer layer of beef, wrap it around the ribeye and the New York strip, and what we think we're gonna get is like a really, really nice, tender, outer fatty layer of short ribs and a really, really nice, medium rare, beautiful ribeye and New York strip.
Also worth mentioning is that a porchetta with pork, because pigs are so much smaller, is about half the size of this.
Yeah.
So that's why it's something that you can do. Beef usually isn't cut this way, so this is not the easiest thing to do.
It's just gonna be getting the bones out and getting this thing rolled up. First thing to come off is gonna be all this fat. If you listen closely, you can hear it. You would also not normally cut like this. This is just so you can see everything. It is harder to do this way. This is for all those YouTube commenters saying that we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, turns out we don't.
We have ribeye, short ribs, 2 skirts, flank, bavette, New York strip, tenderloin, sirloin, picanha, tri-tip, entraña. There are 11 steaks going into this one roast. Woohoo! A lot of these steaks cook at different temperatures, so how are we going to manage to cook them all properly? We're gonna cook this kind of low and slow for a little bit, because the main thing is getting these short ribs to get tender. The outer steaks, I think, like the flank, the skirt, are gonna be more well done, but that's okay. Brent, would you like to address the Biff commenters out there? The Biff commenters of the world?
Why don't you make like a tree and get the hell out of here? Bones are out, tidy this up, figure out how the hell we're gonna roll this.
In an ideal world, you would want this to just sit in salt for like a day. We ain't got that kind of time. The best part about the salting process is you will find every cut on your hands really quickly.
The purpose of tying a roast is just so that it actually cooks evenly, so that everything is the same size.
How long do you think we're gonna need timing-wise for this guy?
I think we can do this in 6 hours.
We're playing by Price is Right rules, right?
Yep.
Then I like to make mine 7.5.
Let's season the outside.
We're putting this in the smoker, but we ain't smoking it. Just want to keep it at a nice low temperature. I've never had a roast that actually took 2 people to lift it up.
What's that? I'm really curious what this actually weighs.
I'm gonna say 45 pounds, 60 pounds, 61 pounds.
I'm really freaking stoked about this whole thing. I think it's gonna be awesome.
Let's do it. This is ridiculous.
Yep.
Now we wait. To the computers. To solitaire. I really gotta get more sleep. It's 7 o'clock, so it's been 7 hours in the smoker. It's 130 degrees, so it's gonna be pretty much medium rare. It'll probably shoot up another 5 to 10 degrees. We have with us our good friend John Perry,
Hey, John Perry.
because someone had to carry the very cumbersome, awkward, heavy board that we're gonna put this on, and I didn't want to do it. You ready?
Oh, that's a heavy roast. And scene. We definitely roasted it.
It cooked.
Should probably rest for about an hour,
It temped at 130.
which is a little more than medium rare, but I think with the carryover, I think medium is actually a good place to be with this, so that the short ribs actually got a little extra time,
Yeah.
so that they're a little bit more tender. We're not worried about the steaks being tender.
Yeah.
They're gonna be amazing either way.
I think a good marriage is about compromise, and I think the loin, the short ribs, meeting in the middle.
What else is a good marriage about?
Yo.
Okay.
Now I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about that.
You're exercising a stupid amount of patience right now. Eat me, Brent. Eat me. I want to eat you. I do. Just do it. I do, buddy.
Where do you think your favorite part's going to be on this? Call your shot. Call your shot.
I think the best part is going to be this part of the ribeye, but I'm most excited about all of the steaks from the drop loin being wrapped around the New York strip, because I've never eaten that before.
I'm really curious how the short rib exterior has been cooked and how far along it got compared to the ribeye right in the middle.
What if it sucks?
I don't think it will.
Great, so let's give it an hour.
Let's give it an hour. We're ready to cut into this thing. Brent, would you like to have the honors?
Ben? I would.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It worked.
That worked. That was the most expensive experiment that paid off that we've ever done. Congratulations.
Thank God. The short rib is all mid-well. We wanted that to cook all the way through so that all the fat would actually render. And we wanted the ribeye to stay medium rare. I think it looks f***ing awesome.
Let's cut a slice.
This is super exciting because at a steakhouse, you get the prime rib. The prime rib is the whole rib loin, which is usually just this cut. This is so much more. It actually shows the whole animal, so I'm so excited to eat it.
Which do you want first? You want the...
I want the short rib.
The short rib?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
You usually have braised short rib, which is tender and juicy and falls apart, but tastes like red wine and rosemary. This actually tastes like roast beef, but well done roast beef that's super duper fatty. It's amazing. We should try the ribeye now?
Yep, let's do that. That's a perfect prime rib. That's a really perfect prime rib.
And then just simple, perfect prime rib.
What do you want from us? We just made it perfect.
This is amazing. This is an amazing experience.
Turns out it was a good idea.
You can make a beef porchetta.
Beefetta?
You just need a better
Beefetta?
name for it.
Beef cata? Thank God It's not just the two of us eating this. We invited a bunch of friends. They're gonna start helping us.
Let's do some damage. Here at the Meat Hook, we sell nice steaks.
We tried to.
We sell tender steaks,
Yeah.
flavorful steaks,
Yeah.
great on the grill.
Yeah! But this steak, the Eye of Round, it's no good. So we're gonna try and cook it a bunch of different ways to see if there's any way we can make this steak tolerable.
Maybe.
Maybe. Doing the Lord's work today on Prime Time.
We're back to the beef leg. Same muscle structure for beef, pork, lamb. All of the muscles are the same, so if you learn how to butcher one of the animals, you can know how to do all of them.
Same muscle structure for Brent too.
Very cool.
Find him on his leg.
Go ahead and look. Beef leg is 4 muscles. Top round, bottom round, eye of round, and the sirloin tip. Today, we're gonna talk about the eye of round.
The most wah-wah of all the muscles on any animal, I would say.
I would say this is my least favorite muscle on any animal.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine too.
Why do you hate eye round?
For being from the leg, I feel like it doesn't have as much flavor as the other cuts from the leg. I mean, like, you look at that and you're like, it looks like a tenderloin, it looks like a fillet. Like, you could roast this very, very evenly, very, very nicely. It has a little bit of fat on the underside.
If a customer comes in and says, you know, give me all of your eye of round,
I wouldn't want to say like, are you sure? I would be like, oh, what are you doing?
what are you doing?
Oh, like maybe this would be better than that.
If they're looking for like a roast for 4, okay, let's steer them in another direction. F***ing don't ask your butcher for an eye of round. because-
Save yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna end up with a shitty dinner.
So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna take this cut that neither of us have any affection for whatsoever, and we're gonna try about 4 different ways of cooking it to see if we can get something out of it. We have our 4 steaks. Let's go through them. Number 1, what you got?
Just our control, we're just gonna cook it as a regular steak, not tenderizing it, just in a pan, a couple minutes each side, get it to medium rare.
Perfect. 2,
Resting in beef fat, cooking it the exact same way, but rather than just resting on a plate, we're going to actually submerge it into beef fat.
number 3,
Vac pack beef fat. We're gonna vac pack this, completely submerge it in beef fat, see if that does anything to take oxygen out and actually impart beef flavor and hopefully tenderize it.
okay. Number 4, fat poach. Fat poach.
We're basically just almost confine, but just dropping this steak in a low fat bath. I think the idea here is to see whether or not cooking it in its own fat will impart a better flavor and a better texture.
Both things that it needs desperately.
Exactly.
Start salting. Are you ready for me to pour hot fat on your hands?
Yeah, great. I'm gonna go seal this up. You wanna get the water bath going for the other 2?
Yeah, that looks weird.
It sure does.
We're not just gonna dump it in? It's a comically large pot, we have to. How much money you wanna put on turning this guy on with a bunch of fat in it and it just short circuits?
We're spraying all over your face.
I really hope that doesn't happen. I really need that to not happen.
See how it goes.
Okay. All right, so we just learned a pretty valuable lesson. Beef fat is too thick to work with the sous vide machine.
Don't put your electronics in beef fat.
Yeah, you might have thought maybe we should have known that beforehand, but we didn't. It's part of an experiment, is to live and learn. So let's do a pot for our fat poach.
Yeah, we could just poach it and just take the temperature, keep it 135.
Yeah, we're gonna do 135 for the water bath and the fat bath. We'll be able to measure that pretty consistently. We'll give them the same amount of time still. Really shouldn't be any difference, but this way we don't break an expensive piece of equipment.
Grab our steaks,
Grab our steaks.
set our timer, say an hour and a half, do 90 minutes.
Cool.
Yeah?
It's time. That steak has been sitting there. That steak has been sitting there.
Remember when we said that this was our least favorite steak and we decided to put it in a bag and boil it for 90 minutes?
Yeah.
Looks great. Got our control. We'll fry both of these, fry these, try them at the same time.
Agreed. Yeah! Gonna rest this in beef fat. Now we're gonna do these 2 steaks, searing them off. Brent, you have a knife. Let's eat a bunch of this steak.
All right, so untenderized, unrested, regular ass eye of round steak. Beautiful cook, medium rare, absolutely nailed it. It looks great.
Looks great.
Yeah.
Looks like a steak I would want to eat.
Man,
You're a terrible steak.
that's a shitty steak.
Come back and check in on us in 3 minutes when we're done chewing this bite. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 5, what would you give the flavor on our control?
A flavor, I'd say a 3.
Okay, what about the texture?
0.
0.
This is not a steak. We'll keep referring to it as a steak because we cooked it like a steak, but this is definitely not a steak. You should not cook it like that.
So the bar by which we're gonna judge the rest of these is, it should be at least on a flavor a 3.
Right.
The texture, if it's better than a 0, we've already won.
That's great.
We've already done great.
Yeah.
Let's try the rested in beef fat. I think this is gonna be better. I think this is gonna be better.
It's gonna be better, yeah.
All right, cheers. Well, no flavor's better.
Flavor's better. I'd go 0 to maybe a 2. That's not tender
No.
by any means. I wouldn't be mad if I got this as a budget, Tuesday night steak cut.
I'd give it a 3.5 and I think 1 on texture, but the flavor is definitely better.
Yeah, the flavor's really good.
That really worked out.
All right, backpack.
How are you feeling going into number 3?
I'm already more excited about it. I feel like to the touch, it already feels more tender than these do. These are rock hard.
Yeah.
Very, very even cook. We probably cooked it a little too long. That went for a full 90 minutes. Let's see what the texture's like.
Comparable texture to the other one.
Mm-hmm. Surprisingly less beefy.
Yeah. If you don't mind me going on a tangent, this is kind of why I don't like sous vide. Because I feel like you actually lose some of the complexity of flavors.
I would already say that I prefer the rested in beef fat than.
I think so too. What would you give this on your flavor and texture spectrum?
I'd keep the 1.
Yeah.
I'd knock the 3.5 down to probably a 2.5.
Yeah, I think I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right, let's do fat poach.
I'm pretty excited about this one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
I've never cooked a steak like this.
Yep.
So I'm generally very curious. I think it's just a fun experiment. Color looks great.
It seems to have lost a lot more liquid than the other steaks have.
Right. All right.
Well, that is tough. I think we're back down to like 0 on texture.
What the hell did we learn today, Ben?
I think we learned that if you just treat a steak that's less than desirable, the same as you normally would, salt it, fry it, but then resting it in beef fat will give you a more like rich, more almost like a beef umami flavor than cooking it in the fat or like vacuum sealing it in fat in a sous vide bath.
Right, and vacuum sealing, I think it can be interesting in a lot of ways to impart other flavors into things, but I'm really surprised that it actually didn't make either of these more beefy. It actually made it more mild. I think you're right, generally speaking, resting in beef fat's kind of the way to go.
Do you like eye of round any better than you did this morning?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
There's still so many better steaks on an animal.
Sorry, eye of round.
For us now, what this essentially means is we're doing the same thing we've always done. Like when we need a little bit of lean for our ground beef, we're gonna grind the eye round first thing. Other than that, it's still not going into the steak case. It's unfortunate. It's a little bit better than I gave it credit at the beginning, but I'm still not exactly, impressed by it.
Yeah, wouldn't feel comfortable selling this to a customer and saying, yeah, you'll be fine. Go
Yeah.
cook this at home and you'll be happy.
We can't let any of this go to waste, so someone's got to eat it. So, see you later.
Hello, Brent. Hello, Ben. We're here at Decoy to learn how to make Peking duck.
We're here at Decoy in the West Village to learn from Chef Joe exactly what goes into full, perfect Peking duck. I've never made it.
We're making Peking duck. Why Peking duck over roasted duck or braised duck?
The history has come from northern China.
Okay.
It's not southern China. Southern China, they eat roast duck, which is just put in the oven, they chop it and eat it without the pancake. So this duck is from Canada. And also the duck itself is about 6 to 7 pounds. They are very, very not too fatty.
Yeah.
Usually when you have duck or something from different farm, the breast is that thick.
They're
It's not moist. It's like very dry. And by the way, right now, the very, very famous dish in New York, which is this pork.
Tongue?
No,
Oh, right there.
the whole thing.
What do you even call that?
We call jiao.
Okay.
I don't know, is it called jiao?
Duck jowl.
Yeah, but they cook this pork. They only sell this pork expensive than the meat.
Really?
What? Really?
Because one duck only had one jiao,
Yeah.
but you have two legs.
Yeah. Okay.
The first thing is we gotta clean the duck. They come with the duck with all the intestine, everything. We gotta get it out. We gotta clean this.
Yep.
And then salt first. 3 spoons of salt inside. Oh, the very, 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 very important is when we do any preparation on the duck, don't get the skin dirty. Okay? Keep everything clean, like especially salt and the sauce. If any sauce or salt will touch the skin, when you put it in the oven, that part is dark and burnt because there's a sodium in there. So just keep it very,
no pressure here.
very clean. Go around inside and like massage them.
Gently.
Yeah, make sure the flavor go everywhere. So then you put 2 star anise.
So we got
and
the
a ginger.
5 spice.
Yeah, five spice we in there, and ginger 2.
2 of these?
Yeah, 1 or 2 is fine. Scallion as well,
Great.
and 2 spoons of sauce, and go over it.
Don't
Yeah.
spill it.
Okay, and then we're gonna close it.
And then is it just straight down the middle? Yeah?
That looks good.
Pumping air into the carcass. This is a traditional part of it, is getting the fat and
Yeah.
the skin to separate. Who came up with that idea?
That is come from the people that they try to make how they make the skin crispy.
Yeah.
That's why when they cook this without pumping the air there, they're not getting the better result.
It makes so much sense, but also I can't imagine who thought of that. It's like, let's just pump a bunch of air in there and then we'll get the crispy
No,
skin.
but by the way, in 50 years ago, they don't have a pump. They do this.
Yeah. I think that's
Serious.
what Brent should do.
Yeah. We're gonna stop pumping from the neck.
Do we have to?
And then you gotta hold it, okay? Make sure you gotta hold it.
Okay.
Okay? Just, yeah, don't go so fast. You see that?
I think that's the most John Carpenter thing we've ever done.
You should try.
Yeah?
You should try because they lose air. You can pump it up again.
There's a hole down here, Ben.
Yeah, now it's just so loose on the neck and wow. Wow.
Thank you.
It's the first time I've ever pumped air into the carcass of a duck.
Just a plain water.
Just
Okay,
plain
yeah.
water, any seasoning?
No, nothing. The reason why we do this, we want to get the skin tight right now.
Okay.
Okay? We don't want to cook the skin.
Right.
We just want the skin get tight.
Yeah.
So you just go like this.
Oh, it's a duck in a pond.
It's like you washing them, you know? Okay? And then we go to the last part of the preparation, red vinegar, okay?
Okay.
And sugar. The vinegar and sugar to make the skin crispy. That's the important part. Put that on the top of the duck to make sure every part of a duck they touch with the vinegar and the sugar.
And these are all the traditional steps.
Yeah.
Okay.
We gotta let it dry for 6 to 8 hours.
Okay.
So we're gonna go downstairs and cook the duck in the oven.
Let's go cook a duck.
Okay.
Dinner. So what temperature are we cooking the ducks at?
We cook the duck at 300, and then we gotta shut it down for about 275, and then the last 5 minutes we're gonna turn it on to about 350 to 400 to
Okay.
get all the fat out. We don't want any fat stuck in the duck.
Where does all of the fat go?
To the bottom, you see this? The oven?
Uh-huh.
You see all this fat?
That's a lot of fat.
Yeah. All right.
What do you think, Chef?
The duck is almost about 40 minutes.
Oh, those are brown.
Wait.
Hold the hook and take this out.
Oh, that's beautiful. What's the punishment if I drop this in the bottom accidentally?
I gotta get you
Fired?
no, an employer benefit. Go home. Show everyone. See how shine? Now we're gonna fillet. When we do the duck before in the preparation, remember this, we close it.
Yes.
Right now we gotta take it off because we gotta get all the sauce out from inside. We don't need that. This pork, we gotta cut. You see some sauce. It's dropping.
And everything else has just been absorbed by the meat.
Yeah, absorbed by the meat. Smell.
Oh man, that smells so good.
Take the leg off.
Take the leg off.
Okay.
Because some people, when they eat Peking duck, the most pork they like to eat, which is the breast and the back. But the breast pork is kind of moist. When you with the pancake, will be more have a texture.
Yeah.
Back of the pork, in general, the people just eat without any pancake. You know, like chips.
I like chips.
It's like chips.
Duck chips.
Yeah. So we're gonna do the breast pork. So
Yeah, what's your way?
my way is take one piece of a pancake and then you choose whatever sauce you want.
You like the hoisin?
Hoisin, the sesame, and I like the vegetable more because I like the jalapeno flavor. Okay, and then you get one of the breasts and a little bit of a scotch, not much, and eat it.
Me?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I definitely didn't expect the jalapeno. That makes a huge difference.
Really, really nice. The brightness from the jalapeno, the sweetness from the hoisin, the sesame. Oh my gosh. I've had Peking duck plenty of times. I've never had it with these sauces, with the fried leeks. This is such a unique experience. So this is what you want out of Peking duck?
Sure.
And it's a lot more fun to build yourself.
Raw preparation and the cooked preparation, the whole thing around 24 hours.
Full 24 hours into this dish.
Yeah.
And then you end up with this beautiful, unique Peking duck dish brought to your table.
Yeah.
Wow, this is so impressive. The flavors are amazing. Thank you so much. This was great.
Amazing. Thank you.
I am so excited for today.
I am so nervous for today. We have barbecue legend, whole hog master Rodney Scott, who's recently taken on ribs at his restaurant. He's here to teach us everything.
You know who has ribs? We have ribs!
Here we go. We're here to talk ribs with the man. So we brought our already quartered half hog out here. What do you want to cook today?
Let's put some spares on it and maybe a whole hog when nobody's looking later.
Take these ribs off and these guys, just see what happens.
Let's get it all.
Bar that knife. Like, how much fat are you looking to have on a fat cap?
This right here is the limit for me
Okay.
because the way that we cook it, the whole animal is like this for 12 hours.
Yeah.
So all that fat is going through down into a direct bed of hot coals. And with that happening, you don't want the hot coals to catch fire or blaze. I personally prefer them no thicker than this.
Spare ribs off the belly, ribs off the loin.
Country style ribs off the picnic.
I mean, since we have 3 different cuts, is there an approach that you're thinking because there's different thickness, different fat content?
Same approach for me all the time. Be careful, pay attention, start slow. Because you can always add to it, but you can't really take away all the time. Right now, you're not thinking about this being delayed. You want to eat this.
Yeah.
So we're going to make sure that we be careful on how we season it and and how hot our pit is. I've screwed up some ribs before starting too hot. And you couldn't rip them apart, they were so tough. Just before I put them on the fire, I sprinkle my rub on them. We use a basic rub with some other stuff added to it.
What's in that rub?
We got some paprika, and then we got some paprika, and then we put a little bit more paprika in there.
So paprika.
I personally like to just a little sprinkle over them.
Yeah, that's not overly aggressive. Like, what do you kind of imagine of?
You rub it and you bite into it, it's salty. When you just sprinkle it on there and give it a chance to cook through, it's usually a better flavor. Another thing I don't like to do is pre-rub my ribs too far ahead, because if you start to rub them and you stack them, they start massaging the ingredients all in there, and then you get that saltiness that you don't want. This is the way Rodney Scott seasons his ribs, with paprika.
With only paprika.
Only paprika. I was only using 2 types of paprika.
Yeah. You got to use at least 3 types of paprika.
All right.
Y'all may as well say he's full of
When someone comes to you and they wanna work, what are like the top 3 tenets that they need to learn?
First thing they need to do is be patient. They need to pay attention, because this could be a very intense job with the heat, and follow directions. You're not gonna get the same results every day from the same protein. Example, whole hogs. I've had whole hogs that were smaller than others, but they would take longer to cook.
I think you're aware that we're in New York City. We don't have a live fire pit. We do have a smoker, but I feel like we're showing up to a dinner party right now and like giving you a microwave to cook with. You don't use any electric smokers, but what do you think about them?
I've never used an electric smoker.
Really?
Whoa.
Other than on the road a couple places, but
And that's it.
they still produce great products.
It's a pretty nice smoking microwave. You put it,
We'll
set
make it
it,
work.
forget it.
We'll make it work. So you got some cherry in there.
Little cherry, little hickory. You're like real exclusive about your wood.
Yes, I like to use majority of oak, and every now and again add in a little hickory.
So I gotta get this going. What temperature do you want it at?
With that meat, I would stay around 220.
Perfect.
Go nice and slow, because it's not a real thick cut. 250 might cook it a little fast.
So we got about an hour. Anything else you want to cook in the meantime?
Let's go play around with a little something else. Let's get a smaller version of that ribeye and just play with it a little bit.
You're gonna go straight ribeye. All right, let's do it.
Yes.
Do you want a dry aged steak?
We don't have to have a dry aged steak,
But
I mean, if we're pushing the envelope here. It's gonna be good. I see some flavor right in that bone. Look at all of that. A little bit of sauce. With this, we can rub because we wanted to go in.
so we already talked about this paprika rub. Is this paprika sauce?
We got some cayenne in there, black pepper, and then we had a couple other things that we put in there that's not paprika.
What's the advantage of rubbing it with both the dry rub and the other stuff?
There's no paprika in this. This paprika complements that when they're both together. All right. Another 30 minutes, we'll take another peep at them.
Okay.
Sauce them up, flip them over, because we're making great progress, better than I thought.
Once we put the sauce on the ribs, how much longer?
Not long, because the sauce starts to break it down and make it nice and tender, and then we just want a little bit of color on the other side, and boom, we're good. We're gonna let them go, and we're gonna come back and double check on that experimental aged ribeye. Wow. I think we need to sauce and flip. Since we don't have a mop and we are in New York City, we're gonna do a makeshift mop. So you really wanna just get the sauce on it, just enough to coat it,
Is there anything else you're looking for?
just a little color. We want a little bit more of this going on all over. I'm thinking we're gonna make it there probably within the time frame that we're expecting. Every pit is an adjustment for me because I've never used this one and I don't know how hot it would get. But one thing I've noticed, usually the bottom of the rib will get all of the texture and the color first. In this one, the top got all the texture and the color first.
Never thought about that.
Me either. We all just learned something. I listened to you tell me how your smoker operates, and we paid attention to how it was cooking the meat. So we learned that, hey, let's go ahead and flip it over, or else we're gonna be here an extra 2 hours.
Right.
Let's pull steak out.
Do it. Let's eat this steak.
We'll be back for the ribs shortly.
How big is the sandwich?
4 ounces.
That is a really reasonable amount of meat.
Cheers.
Those are like a perfect summer sandwich.
I was skeptical of smoking the dry aged ribeye, but this is fantastic. Still tastes the paprika.
That meat's pretty good. I might have to step up at home.
Perfect to moose.
Yeah.
Let's see some ribs.
Oh yeah. Well, these are already the best looking ribs that have come out of this smoker.
Woo! It looks great. I mean, it's like the Himalayas when you look on a map, you see the little bumps. When you got the tiny Himalayas there, nice color, should be nice and tender. So let's go with the picnic.
All right.
You got the blade, man.
Oh my God.
Well, that is a really, really good rib.
What do you think of the texture?
That's what I want. A little more fatty, which gives us a little more natural juices flowing through it.
It's like I'm eating a straight up pork chop. There's so much meat on it.
And the flavor, the closer you get up to the neck and the head, the flavor is just like a little bit more intense.
Very intense.
Want to go belly next or loin?
Let's go belly.
Let's tap the flatlands.
All right, here we go. Belly. Wow, the belly really showed up,
I mean, a lot thinner, so you get a lot more spice.
but not too much spice. What do you think?
Exactly.
I feel like whenever I've done ribs, I've been like actually rubbing them in, but like watching you today, just
If we rubbed it in, this would have been more intense. Shall we move on? The loin. I like a little tug in my rib.
Yeah.
And because I like that tug, that loin area is where you're gonna get just that little bite, like you said, the pork chop bite.
Right.
You wanna enjoy the rib without biting into it and the whole thing slides off the bone.
Yeah.
That's great and everything, but me personally, I prefer a little tug.
want to earn it. This is like neck and neck for the picnic for me. This is really, really good.
I might actually like this better.
Just a little tug. I don't like my rib meat falling off the bone. I like to serve my food the way that I enjoy it myself. And that's with that tug.
Because in order for it to fall off the bone, you just have to cook it and cook it, cook it. Do you feel like that's kind of like a rookie move? Like, just cook the hell out of it?
Not necessarily a rookie move, but just something I've never been a real fan of.
So what do you think? Cooking in the city?
This is definitely doable.
You're happy with the taste?
I'm still eating.
All right, good.
You went over like the 3 things you need to have like ingrained in you when you work at Rodney Scott Barbecue. You feel like that holds true no matter where you are?
No matter where you are. Be patient, pay attention, follow the rules.
Rodney, I would love to shake your hand, but that would be very disgusting right now.
Yeah, we're a little greasy.
Thank you so much for doing this with us.
Thank y'all. Thanks for having me, man.
Such an honor.
Thank you. Thank
Cheers.
you.
We're here in Brooklyn to talk about Jersey pork roll. So we imported Jersey's finest, Brad Leone. Brad's got a show called It's Alive, talking about fermented things. Yeah. Turns out this meat is also fermented and is also from Jersey. So that makes you the master of Taylor ham.
And I grew up on it, so I mean, it means a lot to me.
Let's get into figuring out what the heck goes into Taylor ham.
Yeah, let's make it.
Why do some people call it Taylor ham, some people call it pork roll?
From what I've observed, it's just a matter of how far north in the state you go. I grew up in pretty much the northernmost part of New Jersey, and I swear no one would say call it.
Oh, that's Taylor ham country.
It's Taylor ham country, big time.
Yeah.
My first job was at a deli in New Jersey, and one of the jobs was slicing Taylor ham every day. What's really specific about Taylor ham is that it has a tanginess to it.
Yeah.
And like it has to be there.
I think this is an underrated meat product.
It's delicious.
Firmly underrated. Because you don't have enough like breakfast meat items that are fermented.
I don't really care about it.
At all. You've had it?
I've had it. I'm just trying to blow up our comment section. I think it's good, but I feel like it's a nostalgic thing.
100%. You shouldn't care about it that much. And like if you didn't grow up with it, I don't know why anyone would care about it. You can't go slicing this like mortadella. When it's done nice, it's kind of special. No, look at that. I look like a goddamn kid cut it. It's very important.
Okay.
You gotta cut the slits in it.
Okay.
Four slits.
So it doesn't.
So it
hold
don't
up,
cup
right?
on you. Like if you were frying bologna. All right, boom. That's it.
That's it. That's
If it don't look like that, someone up. Yeah, see, look, that's good, nice. But you want to get it all in there, right? Yeah. Oh, there you go, there you go.
All right.
Little nibbles, I'm excited. I'm starting to get, my mouth's a little tingly already and anticipating the tang.
It knows what's coming.
Oh my God, it's so good.
So salty.
Oh, it's horrible for you. That's why you need it a little thinner. Otherwise, it's like, I'm gonna die. But in the moment, oh,
I don't think there's much spice going on.
there's tang and salt. I almost wish it was a little less salt.
It's a little intense.
It's a little much.
Let's make it a little less salty.
We got to figure out this recipe. Let's go to the drawing board.
We're shooting in the dark here.
Good.
All right, you're writing?
I'm ready. I think number 1, pork.
Yeah, I'd say
I
that's
think
a safe bet. Salt.
Safe bet. Oh yeah. Really, number 1.5 is salt.
It's very confusing. And tang. So it's pork salt tang.
Tang, not the powdered drink mix.
That's an interesting proposal.
But pepper.
Pepper. What kind of pepper?
Do we want white and black?
And a little flick of cayenne, we thought.
I think we can do a flick. I think for a tang, you can put an equal sugar.
Equals.
We need some sugar. Our culture is gonna, we have a fast acting one, a fast fermentation one, which I think is probably what they use.
For sure. Now, as far as pork, what kind of pork you thinking, cut-wise?
We gotta do shoulder, right?
Shoulder. But we're gonna go 60-40, right? Anything else?
I think a little bit of mace would be good. I think a little bit of just like
A hint.
just a whisper.
Oh, garlic.
Oh yeah.
We're in New Jersey.
It's got to be a little garlic.
Let's do fresh garlic.
Fresh garlic, onion
Bump it up.
powder.
I think we got everything we need.
We want to make it a little better in a way, right? Like, but kind of also like not too much, right? Like because then we're going away from
Then it's not Taylor ham.
what it is.
Yeah. So you guys want to start cutting some meat?
Yeah, let's
Great.
get into the pork.
We're going to debone a pork shoulder. I didn't come to work today to work, so you're gonna do
All
it.
right, I'll do it. Carve right down in here.
Exactly. Take the skin off, keep as much fat on there as possible.
Easier to take the skin off while the bones are still in. You get a little bit more structure. The shoulder is the ideal cut just because, well, for several reasons. You can see the amount of fat that was on it. It's a really, really nice fat cap. Normally, that's 30% fat, 70% lean. For what we're doing, we're gonna need a little bit of extra fat. In this cut, you have a lot of muscles that are starting from the neck, which is this end. And as they move their way down, they're all connected by these thin layers, thin ribbons of fat, which gives it a really, really great texture as well.
This looks great.
Not that great.
No, you're doing a great job, bud.
This is a tough one. Taking out the shoulder blade, it's a tough cookie to crack,
Oh, it's right there. Oh, that felt good.
right?
Woo!
Yeah.
Next up, we're gonna need to grind this, so would you
Cut it into pieces.
cut it into pieces?
We're really just not working today?
No, I'll do it out.
Watching this guy do it. So we'll take a look at this, eye it up, see our fat contents.
Oh, nice scale, boys.
We got 12 pounds. We're gonna go total 24 pounds, correct?
Total 24 pounds.
We're fatting her up here.
Shouldn't be a problem with me.
God damn, guys, we like
Nailed it.
are like right on the money here.
It's no mistake. All right, so what's next, boys? We can just grind this up?
To get that particle definition we were seeing in the pork roll, I think we should throw it in we have a blast chiller, just so when it goes through the grinder, it doesn't kind of, doesn't get like kind of mushy.
So it grinds nicer.
Yeah, that would be the way to say it.
All right, flash chill that.
So we have our spice list. We're gonna do the tinted cure, which is gonna keep it that nice pink that we like.
It's in Taylor ham.
Yeah, it's on the ingredient list. What's not, but we're gonna add it.
The hell is that?
That is a super binder. No flavor, has no effect whatsoever other than just binding. So since we're gonna have that 40% fat, I kind of just want a little
Security
a
blanket.
little security blanket.
I'm into that. We got a little black peppercorn.
Black pepper, we got some white pepper, we got some onion powder, we got cayenne, good spotting, seeing the little red bits.
It's always been there.
Mace that we're just gonna whisper. We got our fresh garlic. So there's a bunch of different kind of starter cultures we could use. Us boys, we got places to be.
Yeah.
Things to do. So we're gonna use the fast fermenting style. Only 42 grams is all you need for 225 kilos. So we
A
only
little
need,
dabble, do you?
yeah. So we're gonna do like 1 gram.
Oh, that's a gram.
You think that's a gram? I'm gonna do like a little bit more.
Hey, it's got to be tangy anyway.
Get that distilled water.
Oh, why distilled water, bud?
Because tap water normally has chlorine in it, so it's supposed to kill bacteria.
Right.
We don't want to kill this bacteria. So we use distilled water, so it'll just kind of like wake it up. And then we're just gonna let that hang out for like 10 or 15 minutes.
Ready to grind?
Ready to grind?
All right. Grind it again.
Same dye? What kind of dye we use?
Same die. We got a fine die.
Oh, baby.
Oh, baby.
All right, you catch it. Everything.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, this thing's no joke, huh?
Beautiful. Just like Mr. Taylor used to do.
Yeah, just like it. Our mixer of the fat and the meat all mixed up nice, grinded. Almost looks like pork roll. I'm not even kidding. Like
We're almost there.
we're almost there. Smells good.
Smells like pork. Just gonna load this puppy up.
Want me to bring the spice kit?
Let's do it. Go ahead and throw it in.
Yeah, look, just dump it.
Yeah, just get it in there.
Sprinkle.
Yeah, like, you know, liberally. Yeah. I think we're good.
It looks great.
Oh yeah, baby.
Looks Taylor hammy.
Yeah.
So what's next? We gotta put it in the case.
Yeah, we just gotta put it in a casing and then take a few days off.
Take a few days.
Take a long
Not a
weekend.
problem.
Brent, you look like you have muscles. Do you want to grab that really heavy thing over there?
Yeah.
That big bowl of meat.
Out of the way.
Back it down. Good to go.
Yeah.
All right. You want to be on the pumping end of this or the receiving end of that?
I'll pump, bud.
All right.
First of all, I don't know what this seaweed-looking casing is you got, but
This ain't no handbag.
This ain't no Taylor handbag. They used the cloth one. I'm assuming it was a difficult thing to find.
We were not able to procure it. Plus, we also already had these guys. These are our big bologna mortadella ones. So
It's gonna work just fine.
you're doing this thing. So first thing you're gonna do,
Oh, it's knee activated.
knee activated. Put your hands straight out. You want to feel the air coming out until you don't feel any
we're
air, and
pushing
then
air.
stop.
Got it.
Got it. Just pull that baby all the way on. All the way on. All the way on.
Like scrunch it,
Yeah,
like a
get it
normal
in.
sausage casing.
Yeah, get it in there. Okay. I'll hold. Stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
bud. Nice.
Yeah,
Look at that.
let's-
God damn! I want to make all the stuff. Look
All
at
right,
that.
Look at that.
I take back all the bad I said about the casing. It'll work just fine. This is legit as boys. Is it gonna shrink a bit? No.
No, it's actually going to expand as it ferments. Yeah, this is like fairly tight. It'll be like, right,
Oh,
you could
no
bounce a
kidding.
quarter off that thing.
Really?
But, yeah. Let's do a couple more.
Okay.
So boys, we got these babies here. We got two big boys and little pudge.
Yeah, a little pudge.
I think 3 days is probably what we're gonna need. Guys, what a whirlwind 3 days we've had.
Yep.
We've learned, we've loved.
We
High
fermented
highs,
meat together.
Low
Yeah.
lows.
I didn't remember any lows. Do you remember any lows?
Couple lows.
Blacked out there for a while.
Okay, apparently that's on me. Let's get this guy going. Oh, that is very warm and nice. I am jealous of you, pork roll.
Beautiful.
At 160 to get it to like 148, which is where we want to be, probably like 5 hours.
Cool. I'm excited to try this.
All right, that's our 3 day. 3 days right there. Do you want to do the honors?
I know you should.
Okay.
You should. Oh, you're gonna cut right in the middle.
I mean, I was thinking about it.
All
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna eat this whole thing.
Yeah.
Where we cut it.
Nice slice with confidence. Whoa! Ah, damn Taylor ham, bud.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let me smell. That looks great. Yeah. Nice bindage. Throw that on the deli slicer. Katay.
That is a very good deli slicer sound.
Hatay. Yeah, look at this. Nailed, even though it almost looks identical. The little speckle, the little subtle cayenne or whatever it is speckle.
I feel pretty good. Yeah.
I feel like we did the Lord's work here today.
Yes, you're right. This is fantastic. It does look a little bit more, it looks more like Genoa.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's a little bit more air in mine.
Probably
or
from
in
the
ours
fermentation.
than- The one we made, there's a little bit more air in it.
Oh, the casing peels off real nice.
Ooh.
Oh, look at that, bud, huh? We're gonna see how it needs to crisp up. I don't think that'll be a problem.
Yeah.
But let's see if we achieve the proper tangage. No, I'm slicing like hell. This is critical. This looks great, guys.
I'm proud of us.
Look at that. This is not an easy task either. Recreate something that's almost impossible. Oh yeah.
Is it?
Oh, it's there, boys. It smells just like Taylor ham.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not just blowing
No.
smoke?
Feels right. Looks right.
Wow, cheers.
Bing, boom.
Let's hope we got that tang.
I think the flavor's real nice. Like you kind of, it's not like super overpowering by any means. Everything is subtle and balanced. But afterwards it lingers and you do get, the tang is there. I would go another day.
Another day.
4 day.
Maybe 5.
What do you think New Jersey would think about this?
Oh, the hell with them. No. I think we'd get a lot of criticism. But but that's New Jersey in a nutshell, I guess, right? Like they're a real proud people. If it had the more of a emulsified texture, home run, boys.
A finer grind, I don't think we need to change the
The flavor's
flavors.
perfect.
Yeah, spicy is fantastic.
The salt level is perfect.
Yeah.
We can't let you leave without actually making the real deal sandwich. Okay. So
The real deal or my preferred?
your preferred.
If I'm going to Leone and Sons Sandwich Shop,
This is on the menu.
this is on the menu. This is the one.
Yeah,
Done. Let's do it.
yeah.
All right.
You guys are in for a real freaking treat, I'll tell you.
What's your sandwich? What's your move?
Taylor ham, mustard, toasted everything bagel.
Wild, man. You're wild.
Oh, it's good. And that's how you stack them. That's how it goes.
Nothing else?
No. Yeah, cut it up. Yeah, that's it.
Let's eat it.
Right?
You're right.
That's a great ham sandwich. If this were not presented as something that came from a fancy butcher
All right, I sat down
What do
and
you think?
this came wrapped in tin foil in the
hey,
bagel already.
yeah.
Sandwich is
Oh, we're
done.
going fishing. Hey,
Right.
Brad,
Here's
have a
your-
sandwich.
And I'd be like, oh, dude, you got me Taylor ham and mustard on an everything bagel?
Would it pass?
Visually, I would say yes. All right, boom, it's definitely Taylor ham. I would bite it and say, what brand is this?
Oh.
So we made pork roll, not Taylor ham.
No,
God
no.
Damn it!
No, that's not the point. Nailed it. I nailed it.
Monday morning at the shop, we just got our pig delivery, and today we're gonna make ham.
Why are we making ham?
It's the holiday season, Ben. Get in the spirit. Most people don't know what goes into making ham, so here's the tutorial 101. We're making American style deli ham.
But like what you wish boar's head was.
Sorry, boar's head.
So we're gonna start with the half pig, as you can see here. Start from here, get down to our ham. Because I haven't done this in 2 years, Brent's gonna take over from there.
Separate our loin from our ham. Deli ham is great. Sometimes you want a ham sandwich with a bunch of mayonnaise. In order to make the ham, we are going to debone it, skin it, trim it, tie it, brine it.
Let it sit for 10 days,
There we go.
and then we're gonna smoke it. And then we're gonna eat it. Then we're gonna eat some more. And if there's any left over, we'll eat that too. That's 10 steps.
With mayonnaise. Step 1, take the skin off.
I'm gonna start reading off questions from the audience. Has anyone ever told you you look like Biff from Back to the Future?
Wait, what? What?
It's certainly not in the comment section of every video like 5 times. Are you more of a Chris Christopherson, A Star is Born, or more of a Bradley Cooper, A Star is Born?
Man, I'm not ready to answer that question. Both so emotional.
All right, we'll come back to that
We'll come
one.
back to that one.
Brent, if you were on a desert island and you had, never mind, that one was gonna get dark. I'm gonna step away from that question. Brent's trimming around the femur bone right now.
Deboning it.
That wasn't enough detail. So for doing a kind of quick cure, which we're doing, by quick cure, I mean it's still gonna take us 10 days. It helps to break down the muscles a little bit more. The salt and the sugars act as a good marinade, so it kind of creates a uniform texture in the overall ham.
All right, so I feel pretty decent about this. We're gonna ask our resident butcher and ham expert, Leah Wolf, to judge us on our ham. How are we looking?
Looks pretty good. You want to make sure that you're cleaning out anything that's going to be unpleasant even after it's slow cooked. One thing that I do see right off the bat is this situation right here. There's still like some big tendons. I would say B- right now.
Man, I make one mistake and it's a B-?
Man, I'd be doing such a better job right now if this was me. Would have been brining by now, would have been smoking.
Cool.
All right,
that
what do we
looks
think?
Much better.
There,
Much better. Our new grade is B+. Just kidding, it's an A. Good job, buddy.
Would you mind helping us through the next few steps so we can make the best ham
Honored.
possible?
I would be honored.
Great. Let's tie it.
We're gonna load up our ham netting onto the end of this chute, and then we'll roll our ham, put it in this way, and we're gonna push it through. I'm gonna be your ham doula today.
I was about to say, do we need to have some breathing exercises
Yeah.
prepared?
All right.
Nice. So I like to put it in the smaller end first. I kind of like to hold it down here like a big like comic book arm cannon.
Gotcha. The meat hook, professional since 2009. All right.
Breathe, breathe, breathe. Okay, Brent, this is your time to shine. This is your time to shine. Boom.
Never gonna look at you the same way again. So do we start saving for ham college now?
Yeah, you haven't already? Wow, 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 yes. A for enthusiasm.
How we looking?
Good, you look tired, but the ham
No,
looks great. No, that looks perfect.
That's a really good looking ham.
You can tie it this way, you can tie it with twine. Ben, do you want to demonstrate a twine tie on this
I would
end?
love to demonstrate it. Is this how you do it, Lee, or is this just how
I mean,
do
you're
it?
really going for it, which I appreciate. Beautiful.
Great. Just
Yeah.
cut the excess off.
Totally. Very nice. You two have created a beautiful ham together.
We did it! Next step is brining.
So do you want to hype up the brine?
There's brown sugar
That is
in
our
it.
secret blend.
Okay, we take it, we filter the water through an ionized fancy Brita filter,
capacitor.
flux
Shark.
capacitor, some cleansed crystals, and
It's sugar and salt.
it's sugar.
Sugar and salt and water.
And salt water.
We're gonna use our brine pump.
That's what you gave me a flu shot with last week.
Shut up, you're fine. A thing that an industrial plant would have called a ham tumbler, like a washing machine. Take a ham and inject it full of brine.
Reason why we do this is so that you're getting that flavor, that saltiness, that sweetness in every single part of the ham.
Let's flip it over and now get at all of these muscle groups that are underneath. This is the stage where it really starts to shoot brine. It's nice and full. Yep, there it is.
What do you think?
This looks really nice. Ooh, yes, very firm.
Oh, that really is like really nice.
Nice.
Cool.
So good job. Slow but good. The Brent story.
Let's bag it,
Seal it.
throw it on a shelf and forget about it for 10 days.
Back up quick to retrieve it.
Back up.
This is a big ham.
So we sucked all the air out of the package, so the only thing touching the ham is the brine.
And all those holes that we poked are now filled with that brine.
Okay, let's throw this in a bin. And then we have some hams that we can actually smoke today, so we can go ahead and throw those in the smoker. So we're out in the backyard now. This guy has been brining for 10 days, so let's load it up and start smoking, man. Yeah. Let it get pretty smoky. Takes about 8-ish hours, and then we're gonna eat it. We should go buy some mayo.
I'm a mustard guy.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're from Pittsburgh. You're like 50% mayonnaise.
I'm only 50% mayonnaise when it comes to salads. If you're making a salad, it involves mayonnaise.
Okay, so I'm gonna make you a ham salad.
Now we're talking.
There we go. Brent's got his murdering glove on now, so hams must be ready. That ham looks ready for mayoing.
Yeah, that'll work. All right, so this ham has been brined. It's been smoked, it's been cooled, and we're gonna slice into it.
La 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 la. You can see how moist it is just like from the glistening of it. It's gonna be a really, really, really nice ham. All right, let's make some sandwiches. What does Brent like on his sandwich?
Going ham, cheddar, mustard.
I'm gonna do mayonnaise, pickle, American cheese, a little bit of hot sauce. Oh, I feel good about this. I'm gonna eat this sandwich and just fall asleep somewhere.
Yeah! Now that's how you ham.
Because you didn't know what to do with ham once you had it. Put it on bread. Put some pickles on it. Put some mayo on it. Put it in your mouth.
We are here at Xi'an Famous Foods to figure out what's behind one of New York's most iconic noodle dishes, the famous hand-pulled lamb noodles.
Very excited to check it out, so let's go.
Lamb is something that we use a lot in our dishes, not just in our spicy cumin lamb dishes. Lamb is also used in other things like our lamb pummel soup and other lamb. There's like an iron pot lamb that's very popular in Xi'an. Just a lot of lamb. There's Muslim population there, and that's historically because of the trade, the Silk Road, and different people coming through. We take a small part of that tradition. We don't cook hollow food. We do have heavy influences from that type of cuisine, so we use a lot of lamb. Working well with the spices, there's like a new flavor that
It
comes
really
out.
stands up to it. It's not chicken. If it were just on chicken, then you would taste just the spice.
It was you and your dad that started the business together, right?
He started the business
Yeah.
back in 2005. I was still in school, and then after 4 years, joined the business because I just saw such a opportunity here.
All right, Jason, we are dying to know what is behind your lamb dishes. So
I'm gonna ask our central kitchen chef, Mr. Wang, to help us cut this apart. He's very familiar with all of our operations here, and he still personally cuts a lot of the meat himself.
Jason, I noticed we're keeping like all these nice kind of like fattier bits here.
That's a great question, and a lot of our guests actually are probably gonna be like, oh man, they use so much gristle in crab. It's just because you need that fat in order to, when you're cooking on a wok, everything's gonna shrink, all the fat's gonna turn to oil, and you really want that lamb oil in order to give it that like flavor.
do you predominantly only use lamb shoulder?
Any parts of lamb, honestly, that has that mixture of like fat and lean meat.
It really does give you that kind of natural balance of like a decent amount of fat, but it's also a hard-working muscle.
Yeah.
You get a lot of flavor out of it.
We're just gonna marinate this a little bit. It helps to tenderize the meat, get some of the unpleasant gaminess out of it, really just give it a better texture as well when we're cooking it.
So what's gonna go in our marinade?
Salt, cooking wine, we have starch here, and some oil. Looks like we have enough lamb for our dish later.
Right.
We're gonna bring you over to our store here that's attached to our central kitchen. We're gonna cook this in our wok, and then we're gonna do the noodles, and it's lunchtime.
Awesome.
Cool, let's do it. All right, let's do it. We just heat the wok up really hot.
So that's like already sizzling hot within like 7 seconds.
Yeah.
So first thing in is the meat, get some of that fat to render down and crisp up.
The oil that we added before doesn't give it that flavor, so it's really the oil from the fat will be able to achieve that. So, right now, Swine is adding the chili oil. That's the house-made chili oil that we use.
It's not a competitive thing like in New York where people are like militant about their favorite pizza joint or anything like that. It's like
It's very, very competitive. It's very competitive. Like in China, your family name on the chili oil, have a picture of your ancestor on the bottle. You could go to the Chinese grocery stores and you'll see. If you go to the dine-in restaurant, you're gonna see a lot of like a huge menu, and you're like wondering, how do they ever cook all of these items, right? Do they ever cook all these items? And they probably don't get requests for a lot of them very often, but it's important for Chinese chefs to typically have a large menu to show that they could do everything.
I never even thought about why a Chinese menu would be long, much less that it is a point of pride. It's like, do you have people just come in and be like, can I get some pork lo mein?
We still get some of those. Some people ask for French fries. Some people ask for chicken wings. I think thankfully because we're in a big city and we do have a lot of exposure to different cuisines, so people sort of understand how do you measure up with the food that's actually in Xi'an, right? That's another sort of question, and I'm very confident about it because the thing is, you can't find this food in Xi'an. When I say that, it almost seems counterintuitive. Is that like, oh, Jason, are you sort of admitting your food is not authentic? What is authentic? Is it authentic because I'm from there. I cook food that's with that taste profile. If you mean authentic, meaning you can find the same food, any of these stalls that you walk into, you can find the same taste, then I guess we're not authentic. I'm not so much worried about knowledge. I want people to know what is in Xi'an. I want people to travel over there and then come back and be like, oh, okay, actually this is different, but you know what? Like I could see, I could appreciate the differences.
It's your interpretation.
Exactly.
That's what makes it
Exactly.
It is true to like your family, it's what you ate. It's true to like the trade routes that went through there. Is it more important that it's like authentic, or is it more important that it's like honest and like
It's
just
more
you're trying to
important
do with something good?
Yeah, is it more important that it tastes good? Right? At the end of the day, do you enjoy it? I'm gonna pull some noodles. This is just dough. Nothing special about it. So what I'm doing is kind of pulling on it, at the same time hitting it. You just kind of slap it on the surface like that. Overall, you just rip it in half.
Oh wow.
And that's the noodle. Usually just gonna drop them right in the water because they can't stay too long after being pulled. You guys wanna give it a go? He's pushing a little hard. Looks like he's
pushing a little hard, but he's
pretty fast. He's pretty fast.
Look at that. Wow.
Great motions, actually. Looks like looks actually perfect, yeah.
Wow.
It looks like he's been doing this for a while, actually. Oh, no.
No. Oh.
So we're gonna take the middle part, like a string cheese, and just rip it in the middle.
Look at that
There you
landing.
go.
He
There you
stuck the landing.
This is awesome. I'm never going home.
This is fun as hell.
So it looks pretty good. We fished these out and you know, they're ready to go. Freshly cooked lamb from before. I got the cabbage here and it's blanched, and we got some scallions and chive flowers and celery mix. And then we're gonna dress it with the most important things, the noodle sauce and the chili oil.
That is so good. I love this dish.
Oh man.
Yeah, the
We
chili
definitely-
oil is so nice.
Yeah, we're super generous with the cumin, but it's just, it works in this case.
The shoulder is the perfect cut for it too. It has texture, it's gonna go well with the noodles, but because there's fat to it too, it stands up to that spice.
Yeah.
Even for this, like, you see the imperfections, you can tell that somebody actually made it, which is awesome. You know, that's what you want out of food.
Every part of this dish is made by our own recipes, and the noodles are made to order because that's the only way it can be made. I wish I could make the noodles ahead of time. That would save a lot of trouble. It's one of the special things about us though. So it's something that I probably wouldn't change.
It's perfect for New York. You order your food, you get it in 3 to 5 minutes. It's affordable, but like all of this stuff is actually made here.
Yeah, if you guys ever travel to like any part of Asia, everything's so fast and it's just any minute that you waste, it's like lost money pretty much, right? For the guest or for yourself and whatnot. That sort of mentality was like something, even back in the days when we were in Flushing, we didn't have a POS system. You had to memorize all the totals. Like for example, if you ordered 2 dishes, I had to remember it was you that ordered those two dishes,
Yeah.
and add together the math and then be like, you were before him. And you know, it's crazy. But that was kind of the culture that our business was built on.
So much fun to learn about a serious New York City iconic dish.
I appreciate you guys coming, and you know, you guys really good with the noodles. That was the most surprising part of it all. You know, I was like, you know, you guys are gonna be pretty good in the meat rooms. You know, I don't know about the noodles part, but wow, you guys are good. Yeah.
What time do we show up for work tomorrow?
Let's get here at 9, I think.
Okay, cool. This is better than the meat hook.
The commute shouldn't be that bad. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey guys, we're here at In's Meat, where our friend John is making what we think is the best salami in New York.
He's also making whole animal charcuterie, which is both awesome and stupid, but we still love him for it.
Let's go.
Action.
Here we are.
At Ends Meat. We're
Hi,
here with
guys.
John. Hey! Your whole business plan revolves around whole muscles and whole animals. You can make more salami, you can get more pork trim, but you create these specific products that you can only get so much of.
The one that is the hardest, 100% of the time, is the copa. We get 2 of these per animal.
So what do you do?
We tell people they can't have them. There's no question, it's not even a thought process as to whether or not we attempt to make more of any one product outside of whole animal. We get pigs that are pretty large. They're 350, 400 pounds. And we get 12 pounds of copa. Every day it's like, I want copa, I want copa, I want copa. And it's like, cool, I get it. It has nothing to do with the treatment. It's the type of muscle. It's just like this amazing balance of fat and extremely active protein. It's weird to be a retailer when you can't curate specifically to what people are ordering. It's like, oh, that's a no-brainer. Why would we sell anything else but these 3 things?
Totally. You know, customers come in and everybody wants skirt steak.
Yeah.
So like, all right, we like raise the price of skirt steak a little bit, but we don't want to sell skirt steak for $30 a pound. So it just sells out every single day that we get it delivered.
Everybody can't have skirt. That's not whole animal. It's an 850 pound animal, and it's gonna give you a pound and a quarter a hanger.
We make a lot of sausage. We don't make salami. What's the difference in process?
Higher salt, higher sugar, more intense muscle separation. And then we do a pretty in-depth seaming process with our protein to remove unnecessary sinew.
All that silver skin, you want all of that gone.
Yeah, all of that fascia and all that like really gnarly stuff that will get caught in your teeth. So what we're really looking for here is an even mix, an even distribution, and we're relying on the denaturing of our proteins in fermentation. So we're basically pickling this meat, and then, you know, the 4 to 8 months it takes to actually
And then there's that part.
sell it to somebody. We're gonna make salami picante.
Great.
Or our version on salami picante.
The spicy salami.
The spice is nice. Sorry.
Yeah.
Was not
Does
it.
it get old? I don't think it can get old.
The inspiration for this was wanting to utilize chilies from the home state I'm from New Mexico. We're utilizing a lot of lean from the hams and the shoulders.
Gotcha.
This is gonna be like a lot of work for a 2-second shot.
You all look so tiny from up here.
So we're doing a large grind on our lean right now, and then we tumble it with all of our spices, and we grind through our desired size plate.
So salt, fennel, New Mexico chilies, bird's eye chili, sugar, turbinado.
Yeah, and we're using culture that is a mixture of lactobacillus and staphylococcus. So we're just doing a little mix. What we're looking for is that clean separation right there. Yep. We're noticing the little lighter orange areas where it does look like the fat is smearing, but that's not as much smearing as it is the little bit of myosin that's being extracted, kind of coming together.
So this is how you get a salami where you see like the fat bits separated from the meat bits as you get
Exactly.
like this clean.
This is our culture. The powder itself isn't just bacteria. It's also specific minerals and nutrients that kickstart the bacteria in the hydration.
So we're waking it up.
They're waking it up.
That's the alarm. Those minerals are the alarm that's like waking it up as soon as the
Get it
water
going.
hits. All right.
And if we were to just add it in here, it would be a crapshoot as to whether or not it would activate. Slowly add water. I'm gonna slowly add our culture over here.
Hey, Ben!
Yeah, what's up?
Beef bungs.
Shimmy it. Gonna shimmy it. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy.
There you go,
shimmy.
strong shake,
Yeah.
strong shake. We're taking a very loose farce, putting it in a very large slippery animal intestine, and we want it to hang like this. So what we need to do is not only make this little package as tight as possible, but we also need to make sure that it is secure so that the loop doesn't come off the rod that it's hanging from. In order to do that, we need to have structure from top to bottom. Because if we just tied a loop around here, this is like 2.5 pounds, it's gonna slip right off. And
That
we're
sounds
also-
gross and hilarious.
No, it's not. It's neither of those things. It's extremely infuriating. Any possible air gaps that were in there, we want to get rid of them.
If you want to know what the inside of a cow smells like, this is a good way to find out.
So once the products are cased, we go into our fermentation chamber. This mounts on there.
So what temperature is it in here?
Right now it's at 40. The temperature goes too high, the fermentation can happen too fast. And then you don't get as much development as flavor, you just get acid. We're not going for a sour product.
Right.
We're going for a high acid, developed, flavorful, taste the protein, taste the spices, not acid. It'll be coming out whenever 72 hours is from now.
And then it goes into
Into the big bad boy.
this bad boy.
We have a much larger room here. This is what you guys just made.
Oh, wow.
Right here. So this is our salami picante. These are beautiful. At any given time, we have 8,000 to 10,000 pounds of product rotating through this room. And then we have a prosciutto scenario that we're starting. We're gonna hang a bunch of stuff from the ceilings. 3 years into the game, I'm like barely okay with putting a piece of product in here for 2 years. That's such a fucking massive investment.
Yeah.
And I get like everybody, first question is, do you have prosciutto? I'm just like, do you have any idea what that means?
Yeah.
For like a small business that has zero financial investment from anyone, like,
Right, and do you want to pay $300 a pound?
yeah, that's 'cause
For the shit that
that's
I
what
made?
it's- Yeah.
Probably not.
No, like, there's tons of people doing great prosciutto out there.
yeah.
And I mean, for that matter, there's tons of people doing way better product than I am. Like, this is just kind of this little low-key Brooklyn spot that I'm trying to figure it out. So,
We think it's amazing.
thank you. You guys want to go taste this?
Yeah, I'm pretty hungry now.
All right. We have great fat definition in there. Really nice separation. There might have been a little air gaps in there, but I'm really happy with that. You see every separate particle. There's not a huge ring around the outside that demonstrates that the outside's much drier than the inside. It's pretty even all the way through, which leads me to believe it was a really clean grind. The fermentation was very active and it denatured properly and dropped the pH. So without further ado.
Man, I've never had something like this before, like so newly out of the walk-in where you can taste what that walk-in smells like.
The chili.
It's like
So
it
even?
hits you up front and then it kind of chills out. Fennel seed action in there. And the actual heat is coming from flakes of the bird's eye chili.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the New Mexico red chili is a powder, it's dust. So it's really what's giving it the color and the fruitiness. You can really see the importance of the truss here. No separation, no potential for mold to get in there on either side. You see how much weight gets put on this lower side. It's necessary to have that vertical truss.
Can't wait. Let's try this.
This Big Dad Jackson right here. Yes, sir.
Wow.
You can hold that up to the light and you can see right through it.
Let's try the copa.
The aroma of this, it's like f***ing nutty. This is like an aged sheep's milk cheese.
That's
Super in
completely-
depth.
That's completely different.
Texturally, intermuscular fat
Yeah, I'll eat
off
more
the
of that.
chain.
And really shames most prosciuttos.
I would never say that.
I can.
It's just been getting the people to pay attention, to notice, to fall in love with the product. Because they need this experience for this product. They're like, wow, this is more expensive and it's less available. Why would I not just
Can't
go
just
to Whole Foods?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
What's special about this?
And what's
What's made in
missing
Brooklyn?
is
What's that mean?
that
Yeah,
interaction, that discussion. And
Yeah.
that's what, you know, we're trying to continue to give to people while operating a business.
No one gets into animal agriculture, and definitely whole animal, to make money. You do it because you care about something, you want to support a particular kind of agriculture, and you want to do something that's truly different and unique, and you trust that people will be along for the ride with you.
It was an honor to have you here. I'll go ahead and redo all this stuff you guys did, but don't worry about it.
For the best, yeah.
We'll be fine.
Yep. And Mark.
It's April in Brooklyn.
Let's go.
Tyson, we brought you a lamb. We're so excited to smoke this thing because not a lot of people actually have had smoked lamb before, but it's so freaking delicious.
We of course here smoke whole pig, so that's kind of our stick, but like, you know, whole animals as a barbecue genre is underexplored. It is the oldest style of cooking barbecue in this country, and it's indigenous to Eastern North Carolina, which is the style we practice. All right, we're gonna toss this bad boy in the smoker, but can you show me how to cut this thing first?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
And that's how you butterfly a lamb. We've been using the word butterflying, but just to clear it up, that just means laying it flat. So it'll cook a little bit more evenly, but it'll also go a little bit faster just because it's opened up. Gets more smoke, everybody's happier.
The reason lamb is so expensive is it's only this line in the middle and this half that anyone eats. Nobody seems to want the shoulder, and especially in America, no one seems to want the saddle.
Why are we cutting behind the H-bone, or kind of the pelvic bone here?
The first reason is we want this to cook a little faster. In any animal, the legs are gonna always cook slower than the shoulders. We wanna speed this thing up so that it's matching the cook time with the shoulders. And plus, I like having this little pocket so that our marinade can get in there.
Cool.
Well, I guess someone's gonna get a little sinew in their teeth today.
That's fine.
That's totally fine.
This says episode sponsored by Floss.
Just floss.
Now that our lamb's all butterflied, we're gonna throw a little mustard on it. But the reason people don't like lamb is because of that gamey taste associated with it. But that taste is not indigenous to lamb. It's coming from the oxidation of the meat. And so Traditions rub mustard all over the meat because mustard is an antioxidant, and that actually keeps the lamb from getting too much of that gamey flavor. And plus, it helps our seasoning stick.
What's in our seasoning that
So
we're
this
putting
is
on?
a kind of Indian-inspired ones. There's garam masala, Kashmiri peppers, coriander, and a bunch of other random things. Cool. All right, let's go. Good. All right. We're just gonna hang out here for about 7 hours or so, and yeah.
So wait, we're gonna hang out here or by the bar with all the whiskey? So it's been, what, 6 hours now?
6, 7 hours, oh no, time flies. I
You
took
would
a nap.
swear to God it's like a week later since all the snow is gone now, maybe?
Definitely a season later.
Yeah, we ready to look at this thing?
Yeah, let's open her up.
Yep.
Is there anything in particular that you do look for to know that it's done?
Well, basically if your finger goes right through it, it's done.
Okay.
And the temperature at which it starts to shred is like 180, 190, right? Like
Yeah,
that's when
so
it really starts pulling apart.
Exactly, so we're trying to get it above 190.
This will totally fit in this doorway, right?
Ish. Lamb.
Fuck yeah. Does this ever get old?
No. The lamb is one of the best cuts of meat that America produces. They're all grass-fed. You know, they have to be grass-fed. They don't eat anything else.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that it's so expensive, and it's largely due to our own consumption, which is why I like featuring the whole animal, because, you know, once people taste the shoulder, it really opens up their minds on, like, the fact that this is a premium cut.
So a rack of lamb is $36 a pound,
Right.
but a rack of lamb is a pound and a half, and there's 2 of them, and like, that's it. So it's $36 a pound because you're only getting 2 of them. You still have to sell the rest of the shoulder and the leg and the saddle and everything else in order to actually make money on it.
From a barbecue guy's point of view, lamb shoulder is the best part. It's the dark meat, it has the most amount of marbling and fat, and
Smoked, it's fantastic.
this is what we in the industry call barbecue spaghetti, because only when you cook the belly from a whole animal that it pulls into nice long strings.
The fat, that's where it's at.
You would expect the tenderloin, which is the leanest cut on the animal, to be pretty dry, but it's pretty juicy to me.
That was just gonna be like dry and like leathery and kind of gross, but it's actually, you're right, it's pretty moist and.
Yeah, I mean, the leg is very difficult to cook. It's a different texture, it's definitely leaner.
I prefer the fattier piece, that's still fantastic.
Right, and so to make Carolina barbecue, everything needs to be mixed together. A little bit of the shoulder, a little bit of the ham, and then everything else in between.
Okay.
So you're getting a mixture of both fat and lean, different textures, different flavors, and all in one unified bite. So the idea of it being the whole is better than the sum of its parts.
So we're gonna tear this whole thing apart?
Yeah, we're gonna get a big ass bowl and we're gonna just take all the meat off, dump it in the bowl, and season her up.
I need to know more about how a guy from Queens gets into a specific region's barbecue.
I went to go visit North Carolina. You know, I read up on the topic. It was a vinegar sauce, and you know, they cooked the whole hog. So I'm like, all right, I'll give it a go. I didn't think I would like it because, like, who wants to eat a bunch of pork all drowned in vinegar? I went there, took my first bite of whole hog barbecue, and said, all right, well, I think I found the style I want to do. It's hard to do Carolina barbecue without getting deep into the history of it. You know, one of the things we're doing in preserving this old style of barbecue is keeping barbecue as a celebratory action, especially when we tie in with the fact that the original pitmasters of this country were slaves, African-American slaves.
Yeah.
And barbecues were always the end of the harvest season traditions, which they were able to finally celebrate. To gloss over that, I think is a big disservice to American history, which is why today we're actually going to be cooking a kind of celebratory dish. We're cooking a biryani, which is, you know, usually used for weddings and parties and birthdays.
It is one of those things, the more you start like learning about the history of something, especially with barbecue in the South, like the more complicated it gets. You're not gonna untie any of those knots, you're just gonna find more.
Yep.
So much of that narrative is really kind of lost now unless you really look for it and you really pay attention to it.
The style is kind of dying out. So for whole hog barbecue, there's only 20 restaurants in the U.S. still doing this style of barbecue.
Really?
Yeah, so only 20. We are one of 20.
Really? Holy shit.
Which is kind of sad. Now that we got all our meat pulled, we're gonna season her up. Carolina barbecue joint, so of course apple cider vinegar. Put a little bit of lime juice.
Vinegar.
Yep. And of course there's vinegar and pepper. No defined thing of what pepper, so we're using some sambal today. And you can never go wrong with Thai fish sauce. We're gonna break and mix. The vinegar pepper sauce, you know, in my opinion, it's kind of embedded in the human genome. It is the single best way of eating meat. When you go around the world, you look at the cultures like the Philippines and Vietnam and Thailand. The mixture of vinegar and chilies is the single best way of highlighting fatty meat.
Yeah, we were not the OGs of that. Like that was.
Yeah,
but every culture figured out the same thing.
And I think, you know, despite the fact that we're using a Malaysian chili, despite the fact that we're using a Thai fish sauce, this is Carolina barbecue. This is a continuation of the traditions that were handed down.
This is the way you're cooking it.
That I think is endlessly fascinating in a conversation that doesn't happen often enough is this can still be one thing and be other things too.
Right.
It doesn't have to just be like one way or the highway. You're still continuing on that tradition of cooking this way, but you know what tastes good is lime juice and fish sauce.
Yep. I think we're done.
Cool.
What we have here is kind of a Thai-style biryani. When I was thinking through a lamb biryani, I really wanted biryani to be part of the American lexicon, the same way that it has now become part of the Thai lexicon. This is not an Indian dish, it's not a Thai dish. It's definitely an American dish. By cooking the entire animal and mixing it all together, the quality is consistent. There's that impression, there's that sense of occasion.
Better meat, more diversity of meat, price goes down for everybody.
Yeah, we're pro-diversity here.
Yeah, everybody wins. Everybody wins. Oh man, that's really good.
Good.
The cinnamon and the rice and the saffron just works so well with that smoke and that vinegar. Oh my God.
I think the best thing is that, you know, you're used to the flavor of smoked pork. Like you've had ribs and bacon, and you usually have lamb either as a lamb chop or a lamb stew, but combining those things, it tastes brand new.
Tyson, you didn't tell me it was gonna be this good.
Sorry.
So now that we've all eaten this, we should probably invite some friends over to help us with all this.
Yeah, I mean, we might need a few extra hands on that one.
Okay.
And we can call them in.
Do they tell you that when you apply here, like you're gonna have a front row seat to awkward first dates when you're cooking?
Breakups, all sorts of good.
Oh no!
Breakups?
No!
We have a little thing in the back where it said so many days since a breakup, and
are you serious?
And it's always 0. Yeah.
What? Yeah. If there were a steak draft, what would be your #1 overall draft pick for best steak?
The ribeye.
Yes. Ding. That's why we are here in Williamsburg at St. Anselm to try a bone-in ribeye.
A lot of classic New York steakhouses serve kind of the same thing across the board. These guys serve a lot of different stuff, really care about where they get their meat, and it shows. We're here to try it.
Let's do it.
This is a Piedmontese tomahawk ribeye.
What makes a tomahawk here?
We have the bone, which I think traditionally is like more than, I want to say 5 or 6 inches is what they consider. These ones we don't French, so it still has a little bit of the short rib and just like a little bit of meat to gnaw on.
How many of these do you cook a night?
Weekends, we'll cook usually 16, 20 of them. The smallest we've ever had is like 20 some ounces. Largest I think was 100 ounces. So they really...
100 ounces?
Yeah. 100 ounces.
Oh my God.
So they really...
Did you sell that one?
Yeah.
The racks of ribeyes, there are typically 7 steaks,
You guys want to pick your favorite?
Which one do you guys like? You guys are the experts here, just as much as us.
Yeah, I think this one.
I think that's my steak.
Yeah, we
All
got
right.
a little bit of meat there still.
This is like one of our games that we play is guess how much it weighs.
So
right,
let's
let's really do it.
now.
Yeah, I got money in my pocket. It's a little bit loose. Let's do this.
Do we need to get a real scale so that we're...
Yep, let's do
I'll
it.
get a scale.
Each member of each team gets to pick up the steak, confer amongst your teammates. We'll write it on the paper. Whoever loses is going across the street for a six-pack.
That's exactly right.
Oh my God.
Do we see? What do we... Oh man, we all
40
suck.
and 40?
You gotta have a tiebreaker steak.
Okay, tiebreaker
We gotta guess
steak.
another one.
Let's do the big one.
Here we go. I think it's a winner.
64? 62! Damn it! All right, so we owe you guys a six-pack. You guys can choose the beer. I'm sure you know the beer selection across the street
Yep.
very, very well at this point. Now that you've shown us up as far as knowing what weights of steaks are,
Yeah, by doing our job.
you can show us up on how to cook a steak.
All right, lots of seasoning pushed into the steak. So much of it's gonna fall off
Yeah.
on the grill.
So pretty much if salt and pepper can stick to the surface, you want it there.
Yeah.
You guys have cooked more steaks than anyone else. What's the 101?
Turn it often, you know, you don't want it to sit. I like to get a good even char, so it's not about like cross-hatching and like that, any of that with the fish or anything we do. Like the next move on this ribeye that I'm gonna make is just to scoot it over a little bit, so hopefully the grill gets like in between where the marks are now. We'll start it like good and hot and get a good char going, and then if you need to, if it has a fat cap, we'll move it over to render the fat.
You're just vastly different from the landscape. You're not one of these 200-year-old New York iconic steakhouses. You're like in a really amazing, transparent about where your meat comes from neighborhood steakhouse.
A lot of times you just have to decide, like, I don't give a shit about that. Like, this is how we're doing it. This is how it's made.
Wow.
God, that looks perfect.
No barbecue sauce with your steak. Just get some butter, let that melt on there.
And that's it,
That's it.
Love it.
as it should be. So you guys aren't just going to abandon us. You're going to
No, we're gonna
eat some
help.
of this too, right? What kind of six-pack do you guys want?
Closest to water is great.
I got you.
Yeah.
Living up to my promise.
Thank you.
Can we please serve you guys? So you did all the work. This is the crucial move.
This is SOP
Got it.
right here. You gotta butter it up.
You got this like big, beautiful steak. Does anyone ever get upset that they're getting this like big, beautiful bone?
You know, I feel like the people that order it like know what they're getting into, but there are people that won't order it. You know, usually like why would I pay for that bone on that steak? Yeah. But most everybody's pretty excited about it.
And they know up front that it's
It's a tomahawk. It's part of the name.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you get this thing to gnaw on, you get some of the short rib, you get that short rib fat. Like that's part of what makes it so great.
This is your whole steak with the bone that it came on. Right?
This really is the best part. This bone is amazing.
Ribeye is like the king of the American barbecue, the American steakhouse. I feel like some people would probably argue porterhouse. I would tell those people they're wrong. Thank you so much.
This was fantastic.
It really was.
Yeah.
Just cutting up a chicken.
Dude, knock it off.
No, keep it up. It's great.
We are here at one of our favorite restaurants, Winsun, on a Monday, and you can't go in because they're f***ing closed. They are doing R&D, and we are here to cook a whole chicken with them.
This might end up on the menu. It might not. We don't know. They don't know. Let's do it. It's locked. Thank you for inviting us in on your day off.
We're just gonna f around and try to create something fun for a large group to eat and share.
And you're thinking this is something that might end up on the menu?
Yeah, I think it'd be a really fun thing to do for the next month or two. I would not take ownership over this idea. This cool restaurant in San Francisco, they do stuffed springbird with sticky rice. And I've always wanted to try it since I saw that. We like cooking large format stuff, so this is like right up our alley.
Boning out chickens is right up our alley. So happy to help out.
See if we're any good at it. Am I doing this? You doing this?
Paper, rock, scissors, 1, 2, 3, shoot. So am I doing it or do you?
You're doing it.
Okay. I guess we should have made that more clear.
To start, really just using like the tip of your knife to kind of release the meat from the bone. We're not really doing much cutting of the meat.
And have you already separated the wing?
No, I'm about to do that. I would start working the breast off a little bit.
I've been doing this for 10 years and I've never done it like this.
This is crazy. It's like manual sci-fi stuff. I don't know.
You were so close to making a movie reference. I'm just freeing all this carcass up so I can just pull this.
Yeah, you'll eventually,
I'm
yeah.
gonna pull.
You're
So
a straight predator that.
No, you beat me to it! Damn it! You beat me to the predator reference!
So now just work on release.
Just tell me to predator that.
Just predator that, dude. Just take it off the rib cage.
I didn't think that it was going to take this long. Seriously, in order to get this on the menu, would you do one of these a day? Like, it has to be faster.
I would probably do 2 or 3 a day. If people aren't going to want to spend, $20, $30 on one dish. A lot people like to come here and share a plate. So.
Does it matter how beautiful the butchering is?
It doesn't matter how beautiful it is, but the less holes, the better. We want to take all the bones out, but keep it intact so the filling doesn't fall out while it fries.
Come on!
I don't want to spin this as like a super Taiwanese dish. Like, as a white dude, it is something I really try to humbly and respectfully approach. And my mentor, he's from LA, and his folks identify politically as Chinese, but they're from Taiwan. And him just explaining to me that cultural nuance and understanding that complicated response was sort of captivating. And when Josh told me that his folks are from Taiwan, we ended up eating Taiwanese food and then trying to contextualize it historically. And I think that's where we started kind of getting serious about it. Shall we make the rice?
Let's cook some rice.
Add these ingredients, little scallions, some spring garlic, some regular garlic, some Chinese sausage, oyster mushrooms. We're gonna add the sticky rice.
Is this Taiwanese rice versus Chinese rice? Like, how did you change it?
Where Josh's mom's family from in Tainan in the south of Taiwan. It's a little bit sweeter and very porky. Instead of cooking the rice with water, I'm gonna use superior broth. So roasted chicken bones and pork necks with some unsmoked ham and ginger and garlic, scallions. Wow. Cook that.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's so good. We start stuffing the bird.
Trying to figure out whether or not this is actually going to be a menu item. Like, what are you thinking? What are you considering?
So it took 10 minutes in the fryer, right? For a boneless piece of chicken, I feel like that should be enough. We took all the bones out. If it takes more than 10 minutes in the fryer, it's not going to be super practical. All my instincts say that this bird is ready, but we'll see. This is cayenne pepper and Chinese 5-spice. Hit it again on the back with salt. Not afraid of really over seasoning this because I just dried it out. I didn't brine it. So we're a little bit on the right side raw. It doesn't look as raw, but it's just because it's white meat. And here it's dark meat, so you can see it more clearly, but towards the inside it's raw. It doesn't seem like it needs that much more cook time, maybe even more, just a little bit more resting. As long as we know all these factors ahead of time, it's not really necessarily a setback. If you put this on the menu and you're like, hey, it takes 45 minutes to make. We're not so far beyond cooked that I think it's a feasibility concern. I'm just gonna try it again.
All right, let's try it again.
I put my timer on for 12 minutes. I think we let it hit like 13.
It looks like the extra time made a difference, though. It's
really crispy skin.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
This looks pretty good. I literally got some ramps in on Friday, some spring garlic, chopped it real finely. We're gonna hit this with some vinegar and make a little vinaigrette. What I intend to season this with is a Centennial kumquat. Good.
Holy that's not what I was expecting. Most sweet and sour things, you're used to being like super sweet and super sour. It's really balanced.
And then it's just some crunchy stuff, some nuts, peanuts and cashews and fried shallots and shrimp powder. Got to be a little bit cleaner of a cut. I think also after I butcher the chickens and stuff them with colder sticky rice, I can like press them down with a sheet tray, make them a little flatter. Like that'll increase the fry time and they'll cook a little more evenly as well. And then we'll also be able to slice them.
I'm ready to eat it.
Yeah, let's take it out to the bar and eat it.
Cheers.
How are you guys feeling?
I like the dark meat a lot better than the white meat. Maybe brine them, press them so they're a little flatter. Like even more of the kumquat pickles would be great.
Otherwise, you're feeling pretty good about this. This is probably gonna make it after like one or two, like let's brine it, let's press it, so you can like really get nice slices and.
For sure.
I feel like I'm just using the fried chicken as a lettuce leaf, the vehicle to eat the rice.
It's like a Tootsie Pop. Rice is. How many bites of chicken does it take to get to the?
A lot.
I like the brining idea on the chicken just because it is a little bit light with the salt on the outside, so that's seasoned all the way through. Like push that flavor up a little bit more. They can stand up to the sticky rice a little bit better.
I totally agree. I think that's the only thing that's really missing from it is the little bit of salt in the chicken. Otherwise, I think the sticky rice and the salad garnish are unreal. I think as a first attempt, this is pretty spot on.
Thanks for coming through, boys.
You can find it here at Winsun.
We heard that there is a farmer, Dave, at Moto Perpetuo, who is raising pigs on cannabis leaves.
What?
WTF.
The
Why? How? Why? How?
What does this taste like?
So we're gonna visit the farm in Oregon, and then we're gonna head over to Chef Vitali's restaurant Imperial
And try these pigs.
So this is greenhouse 2 of 9. There's Power Rec. This is Bubble Bomb from a Dutch seed breeder, and then there's lavender on the backside there.
The number one question on my mind, and I'm sure like everybody's mind, are these pigs getting high?
The answer to that is no. Pigs actually have a very similar cannabinoid receptor system that humans do. In order for any minimal amount of THC that would be in this part of the plant to even be psychoactive, there's a process that the THC would have to go through. Harvest-wise, as far as when we're generating material for the pigs, there's 2 different stages. One, these plants have been pruned several times already. So if you just let the plant grow wild, this would be a really full canopy. It would be an insane bush. There'd be a bunch of lower level, smaller flowers. So we prune out a lot of that material, and that's what you saw us feed this morning. Then we come in and we harvest and we cherry pick the very best buds, down about 8 to 10 inches, depending on the varietal. Come back through, strip off all of the usable material for processing. So it'll go into edibles or vape pens. All of the green material that's left at that point is what goes to the pigs. We also take the root balls out, and that goes to the pigs. They love the root balls.
How much of their diet ends up being the leftover leaves and stalks?
I'd say by weight, it's probably 20 to 25%.
Wow. How old are these plants?
Just a few months old. You can grow a 14, 16 foot tall plant that's 12 feet wide in a single season.
So it actually does produce a ton of waste.
Yeah, there's a lot of byproducts, and for us, we found a way to use that benefits both sides of the operation. This is still cheaper, even though there's labor involved in this process. A lot of that labor is relative to creating a higher quality flour. And then the tail end labor feeding to the pig is still cheaper than buying in commercial commodity grain, particularly because we would only be sourcing organic or non-GMO grains, not your standard cheap commodity stuff. That's part of the reason we use the pigs, is we don't compost this material and bring it back into the system. We're in a legally recreational cannabis state, which allows us to do this, but it also allows us to tell the bigger story of an integrated farm system and how we believe about raising our animals and producing our cannabis or producing our vegetables. And that bigger story can be told once people are intrigued by this initial kind of novelty, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the story to me. That, that integration, that farming, that system that works uniquely in Oregon.
I'm not a pot farmer, I'm a farmer.
Yeah.
And this is an active and important part of a diverse agricultural system that works from my scaled operation, which is very small.
All right, fellas, I think we've got everything we need to get here for the time being. Let's head over to Imperial and maybe taste some of the weed piggy goodness.
Weed piggy goodness. New hashtag.
New hashtag.
Yeah.
So we're here at Imperial. Chef Vitali, thank you again for having us. We're here with Chef Matthew.
Hey.
Thank you so much.
So Paley's Place is the place where it really all began for us, for me. My wife and I opened that in '95. Imperial is the second child in our family. We opened it in 2012. Matthew's been here with us since the beginning. He started with us as a cook, now as the executive chef. The very first time we did this, it was about a year ago. We did an event with my buddy Brad Farmery from New York, and we called it High in a Hog. Then not too long ago, we did an event outside of Faley's place in a parking lot. It was kind of a pot roast, if you will.
Whoa.
Again, we roasted it on a spit.
We're gonna try this pig.
Wow, okay. See the color on that is amazing.
We're gonna pull our pork secreto out of this guy, and the secreto is a muscle that when an animal gets this big, it distends. It gets large enough that you can differentiate it from the other flat meat, and it has a lot of really nice intermuscular fat. The flavor is really good, and it cooks up nicely at medium. You know, you don't have to kind of hammer it like you do with the rest of the pork.
Essentially, the darker it is, like the more flavor, but then also knowing it's like 14 months old, which is over double what a pig normally gets to grow to. This is gonna be so good.
You can't really tell anything of its diet right now other than it lived a really great life from the color of the meat. It is really cool that you're curing it. The diet will probably present itself in a year from now.
That's kind of what I'm hoping to see is when you add thyme, a little bit of salt. You know, that's why when you taste pigs from Spain, the famous pata negra, you actually do taste that earthiness from the acorns that they eat at the end of their lives or throughout their lives.
Right. Yeah. How did you guys get interested in serving the secreto? Because this is not something that's like familiar on American menus. This is a Portuguese and Spanish cut primarily.
That is exactly the reason why we wanted to do something totally different. Wanted to introduce people to a familiar yet new cut. Comes from the same piece of meat that they've been eating forever, except in a different way.
Yeah. We have a beautiful cut.
Matthew, will you cook this for us?
Please.
We thought would be kind of a cool way of bringing back an old technique of planking.
Yeah.
But planking on something that's distinctly local, yet again, bringing this like farm to table thing even further full circle for us. Put the plank into the fire, get it all smoky, pull it out, toss a piece of meat on it, and keep on repeating the process. There's a historical society here in Portland, literally blocks away from here. I went there digging through menus that date back to 1920s. And there are menus that literally stay planked and underneath a whole bunch of different cuts that you can. So when we were actually toying around with this idea, I put scallops on here, I put mussels on there, I put salmon on here, I put just you name it, I put it on here. It was all really tasty, but it made sense to do it with a nice piece of pork like this because it actually takes enough time to develop the flavor.
It's really amazing to see like how much thought is going into every process of this animal's like life and what happens to it after its life.
You know, we got to be able to tell that story in a very light-hearted but constructive fashion. That it just makes me feel all fuzzy and warm inside, really.
I actually just forgot that we were about to eat pork.
Yeah. Well, it almost smells beefy with all the smoke that's on it, you know?
Get in there, guys, and then maybe try a little bit of this romesco as well. Just kind of swipe the romesco in there and...
Oh, yeah. It is amazing how much flavor you're imparting through that plank and that smoke, and just a little bit of seasoning on the outside.
Seriously, this really doesn't taste like pork.
For me, I would say that it doesn't really impart the flavor of cannabis or what we understand that flavor to be. What I do taste is a healthier animal. Yeah. It's juicier pork. The texture is more resistant. There's no like mushiness involved whatsoever.
It's a better diet. It's really
it doesn't taste like weed, thank God. But you're right, every animal is healthier with salad in their diet. Like that's just the way it is. Pigs are no different. Pig is just a really, really great cut, cooked really, really well.
This is Oregon on a plate.
Yeah, and in the glass. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Thank you so much.
Thank you, chef. Thank you, chef.